Shalom, shalom. On start by giving all praises to the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakatash. My name is Brother Pop from the Camp Palace in Babylon here in Tampa Bay, Florida. And I want to get that by honesty. Eldest Apostles of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to for elect. And basically what I want to get into today, I'm going to call it this class, Esau and these other nations been plotting on us. From the beginning, these other nations in Esau, had a crafty counsel against us, for us to have a fall away like this, man. But get straight into it. Psalm chapter 83 and verse 2 says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lifted up the head." Alright? And when you get into what a tumult is, it's like, how can I say it? Basically a loud noise, of mass people. Of people, a whole group of people, just making a tumult. Or you could say a mob. It says, "And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." So, these other nations, Esau, they lifted up their heads, they got their head, lifted up their head, so they can take crafty counsel against us, man. Alright? So you got, they was making a tumult a big old mob, not a mob, but a big old crowd, just making a lot of noise and protesting, so they can lift up their head, and it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And those head, went and came together and made crafty counsel, man. Alright? Just trying to, what you call it, make a plan against Jacob, man, for him to fall away from the Lord's protection. Because they know without the Lord, if you don't have the Lord, you don't have our power, they could take over, man. Alright? They know the Lord's going to judge us, would judge us, like he had done now, put curses upon us, for falling off. So, it says, "They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Alright, so they have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation, for being together, for being, under Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that the name of Israel, may no more be in remembrance. Alright, and really that's what they did, man. They cut us off from remembrance, because if you look at any old Jake now, or just anybody that just walk around, common person, you ask them the history, they gonna tell you some bull ass, some BS that they learned at school, man. They aren't gonna tell you about how we ruled, about how this whole thing with Esau trying to come up with a plan to make us fall. They're not gonna tell you any of that, man. They're gonna tell you America's history, man. Alright? So it says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Alright? So, like I say, you ask any old common Jake, a common person that's walking around, who is Israel, they probably gonna talk about the people up there in the land of Israel that took over, But it says, "For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee." Alright, so they have consulted, make a plan, came up with an agreement that they are confederate, against us, man. So, if they don't work with each other for anything else, they're gonna definitely work with each other to keep us down, man, to keep us below. Alright, that was the plot, man. And you see, when it comes up, to Jake, man, they will work together. They will work together, so we don't get back to our power. All right. That says, verse 6: the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and Hagarenes, who said, "Let us take to ourselves the house of the house of Yahweh in possession." So those the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, the Hagarenes, Moab. So let us take to ourselves, Yahweh in possession. All right. So our Lord in possession. So that's what the whole thing was about, man. All right, and just shows you that yeah, it just shows you they all met up, in the top of that tabernacle, to plot against Jake, man. Make crafty plans against Jake, against Israel, so we won't be able to be under that our Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and we won't be under his protection anymore. All right. So let me get this real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. It says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." All right, so because they had a perpetual hatred against us, from the beginning, when we was going through it, Esau had his foot on our necks, man. All right, he's trying to take us out. But let me see. Yeah, it says, "And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." So Esau has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and he was able to do that because we didn't have the protection of the Lord anymore. All right, because that crafty council, they had, it succeeded obviously, but so where we couldn't have the protection of the Lord anymore, and they could siege us. All right, they could take over us. You know what I'm saying? It says, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and and blood shall pursue thee." So okay, it says, "Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee." All right, so the Lord's saying He's going to prepare them unto blood, man. The Lord is ready to take Esau out, man, for the atrocities that he has done. Everything he has done, the Lord is ready to take him out, and the Lord will pay recompense. Let me see. Let me get this other precept real quick. It says, Salakia, Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8, "Because of unrighteous dealings and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." All right, so all because these unrighteous dealings, these injuries and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom will be transferred from one person, from Esau, to another, to Jake, to Lord's people. Because they had their fun. They did what they had to do. Now they got the rulership for a couple years. But now we're gonna be in rulership now, and we're gonna have our days upon you until you perish, man. And we're gonna still be ruling in the kingdom with the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, everlasting. So Esau's gonna have to pay his, man. All right. So like it is, Esau has been Esau and these other nations, not just Esau, but these other nations as well, have made this plot against us, you know, to put us down. So the Lord's gonna have to, you know, take them out, man. And these other heathens are going to be going into captivity too, as well, man. You know, not just Esau, but these other nations as well. But unlike Esau, they won't have to perish after 1,000 years, man. All right. But to go back to Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 7, it says, "Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth." All right. So the Lord is ready to pay vengeance, man. The Lord is ready to take out, to kill these devils, man. All right. And that's what he's gonna do, man. And those ones, you're gonna have them super elites that's gonna be hiding in the mountains, hiding away in the wilderness stuff in different countries and stuff. And the Lord's gonna have his man be able to pull them out the mountains, pull them out of them bunkers, and they're gonna be the first fruits in slavery, man, in captivity. So just wait, Esau and you other nations. Y'all gonna have to repay what y'all have done, man. Right now it sounds funny, it sounds, it's like a mockery. It's just, they can't believe it. But then when it does happen, they're gonna be scared for their lives, man. All right, like with Wisdom of Solomon. Let me just get it, man. I'm gonna close out with this. This is how these other nations are gonna react. All right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." All right, and them righteous men, are going to be Jake, man, that have been doing this work, sincerely, diligently for, various times, man. All right. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond what they look for. All right. So they're going to be troubled with terrible fear and amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, they're like, damn, man, all this long he's been telling the truth. And if he's getting saved, if there's so many so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans getting saved, and these was the guys that was preaching, in the streets, everything they said was true, And next thing, then they're gonna know that time is up for them, man. So there ain't gonna be no more mocking, ain't gonna be no more scoffing. This is what it's gonna be. It says, so far beyond all that they looked for, and they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. All right, so that's how they will respond, man. All right, how it says, how is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints. All right, these guys are gonna be in fear for their lives, fear for what's about to happen next, man, because now they see that the so-called, the Lord's man that's been preaching out there, brothers that's been preaching for years, doing many works, for the Lord, will be getting beamed up in a chariot and being saved. Now they're just gonna be fearing for what's going to happen next to them, man. All right. It says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of the spirit. All right. That's how it's going to be, man. So, like I said, man, Esau and these other nations have been plotting against us from the beginning. Now they're going to reap what they have sown, and they're going to have to face, consequences. But that's all I want to get on that. I'm going to give all praises to the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Kakadash. I hope I was edified. Shalom.